Welcome to another episode of The Modern Moron with a bit of a lengthy intro. So, anything new and unusual going on in your life? Me neither. Let me start by saying this is not a place to go for news and information about the coronavirus. At least not for information that is accurate in any way. But I think you know that already. I will also say that it's inevitable that I will make attempts at humor regarding this astounding global situation. That's the way I cope. If your way of coping is to be deadly serious or to panic, then this is not the program for you. Remember, I said attempt humor. I didn't say anything about actually being funny. In today's episode, we make a surprise call to the senator on a Friday. The Friday the 13th, actually, when it seemed to this moron that everything, especially schools and public events, began to shut down for extended periods. Although it was a few days after the NBA suspended its season indefinitely, and other sporting events had begun to follow suit, including the NCAA basketball tournament known as March Madness. This year, we have a different version of that. Speaking of sports, and to give you something that is not corona-related, last week, the U.S. women's national team won the 2020 She Believes tournament, I think for the third time. Not only did it end up being one of the last live sporting events before everything changed, the story lies in the women's protest against the U.S. Soccer Federation. The women's team has filed a gender discrimination lawsuit against the Federation for equal pay to the U.S. men's team. Now, the men's team is, not good, to put it mildly. The men's team couldn't even get invited to the last World Cup. The women's team was invited to the last Women's World Cup, and they won. Again. Not only have they won back-to-back World Cup titles, they have won 4 of the last 8 World Cups. Yeah, half of them going back to 1991. Here's the best part, and this is from a local CBS affiliate in Texas where the tournament took place, although the story cites the Associated Press in regards to the She Believes tournament in Texas. It's a prep tournament for this coming Summer Olympics, if they're even held at all at this point. Here's a quote from the story. The increasingly bitter dispute between the American women's national soccer team and the U.S. Soccer Federation spilled onto the field Wednesday night when players wore their warm-up jerseys inside out in a protest before their 3-1 victory over Japan. Players filed a gender discrimination suit against the USSF, the Federation, last year, a case scheduled for trial starting May 5th in federal court in Los Angeles. The Federation submitted legal papers this week claiming that the women are less skilled and have less demanding roles than the men on its national team. By wearing their jerseys inside out for the national anthems and team photo, players hid the USSF crest on their jerseys but allowed the 4 stars, one for each World Cup title, to be visible. So there you go. The women are less skilled and have less demanding roles.
Male chauvinist pig.
Just for and giggles, I picked out another sport. I went for tennis, and I picked Wimbledon to see what's up with their prize money and how it's divvied up. And what I found was that they have been splitting the same prize money equally since 2007. As of 2019, all 4 of tennis Grand Slams award equal prize money to the men's and women's champions. True, tennis is not a team sport, but we're talking about money, correct? The women's soccer games generate more revenue than the men's soccer games. It's all about attracting eyeballs and putting asses in the seats. If you had the U.S. men and women's soccer teams play equivalent opponents on the same day, I'm watching the women. They've established a successful winning brand. Hell, the men's team can't even get invited to the World Cup, as I said, let alone win 4 out of the last 8 World Cups. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think I'm pretty sexist. And you might argue that when I said the men's team couldn't even get invited to the last World Cup, you might say, well, that's how much tougher men's soccer is compared to women's soccer. I don't know, maybe you're right. I don't know enough to make that kind of a judgment other than to say I think that's bullshit. But again, it usually boils down to money. And again, the women's team generates more revenue than the men's team. So, suck it. They should get equal money. All right. Now then, to my phone call with the senator. It was recorded this last Friday the 13th, as a number of school districts were closing down for 2 to 3 weeks, and now up to 4, and the weekend was starting to look like not a very social weekend. Oh, and by the way, I did not tell the senator I was recording the call at first. I did make sure I had his approval before publishing it, and I have to say, the senator is really a trooper when it comes to opening up his kimono and letting out otherwise private information, which you will hear him reveal right before I tell him I'm recording the call. It's worth it to stick around for that. So yes, we obviously talk about all things Corona between the senator and I, that television studio audiences for late night shows and in some cases entire productions have been shut down. In true moron fashion, neither of us can remember the names of any actors or celebrities we're talking about, like Conan O'Brien's sidekick, Andy Richter, who I'm told has a great podcast of his own. Our discussion of late night sidekicks takes me down a rabbit hole, and I include an old clip of The Tonight Show from 1977, where Johnny Carson is talking with an inebriated Ed McMahon who apparently had one too many before the show. Please remember the great comedic looks Johnny would give to the camera that were perfectly timed, and I like to believe they were inspired by Jack Benny. How's that for a boomer reference? Then we get some inside information into the world of finance from the senator, as he does keep up on the stock market and particularly interest rates. He reads a lot, as he puts it. By the way, as of the recording of this podcast, the Fed's interest rate is 0. Then towards the end, surprise, we get in an argument. We get in an argument when the senator tells me his knowledge of music and fashion are, quote, on the cutting edge. Yeah, I'm afraid I have to call bullshit on that one, and I take him to task on both music and fashion. You know who he wants to talk about in the world of fashion as being cutting edge? Ralph Lauren. Or is it Ralph Lauren? Please, tell me how Ralph Lauren is on the cutting edge of fashion in 2020. The senator is a complete moron, and that's why he should be a mainstay on this program, and that's why I love him. Also, this is a recording of a phone call, and the quality of the audio reflects that. I'm not crazy about it, but it might make it easier to get guests for this thing. Feel free to let us know by going to themodernmoron.com and reaching out. You can also feel free to click subscribe and share and all that other stuff I never remember to beg for. So, it's a semi-viral hodgepodge with a peppering of personal hygiene practices on The Modern Moron. And as always, thank you for listening.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
What's up?
In the shower.
Oh, Jesus. I'll call you back in 10 minutes.
Bye.
What's up with you?
I'm self-quarantined. I'm doing it myself. In LA, she's safe in Burbank, blah, blah, blah. 2 old fashions last night with blood oranges. Woo! Drank them outside with my dogs.
That sounds like a pretty great quarantine.
Oh, and then I had some Fernet before I went to bed for a little soothe the little tummy. And
What's Fernet?
Fernet's like it's like a licorice, almost a real light liqueur. They serve it a lot in Italy and in France, and it's an after dinner, like an aperitif.
I'm an alcoholic.
Okay.
You know, I take just a little bit with just a little small ice cube and had a little Fernet. And,
Have you got me on speakerphone?
Yeah, because I'm standing in my room naked putting lotion on my.
Okay. Can I call you back when I cannot be on speakerphone?
What? Nobody's here, bro. It's just me.
I know, but it's a better quality. I'm recording this.
Oh, some of the thing. Jesus.
Hey, listen. First of all, that is crisis material. First and foremost. Second of all, if you don't want me to include it, I won't. I think it's fantastic.
Of course you do, because it's not your my.
Is it 2 or just the one big one?
Well, the one big one gets in the way, so it gets most of the lotion.
Oh, God.
Yeah. How much time do you need to?
Well, I tried to get our meeting canceled today, and of course, you know, why wouldn't I want to go to a room full of a bunch of like high-risk old white men, and there's some other people of color.
I'll bet you, because of that, I bet you most of them don't show up.
Yeah, and I told the current president, I said, we need to just call the meeting, just cancel it. Yeah, everything's shut down. I think we should blow off the boat show, dude. I don't think we should go.
Oh, I meant to tell you, that's been canceled.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first message said, we're going to do everything we can to keep people separated. We're going to make sure doors are open so people don't have to touch doors.
Oh, God.
Doesn't matter. I just got done watching a rehearsal of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert with no audience.
Wow. Dude, it's
Broadway is shut down,
man.
and late night shows are doing their shows with no audience.
Wow. This is living in some really strange time. This is never, right, in our lifetime, never been like this. I don't remember this ever happening.
Like Bernie said, it's like World War II.
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor gets bombed. Like, what?
Wow. Yeah, at first, like a week ago when all this, I was like, oh, it's over, blah, 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 blah. It's like, come on, you guys, it's the flu. But I guess it's the strain is, I don't know. What the hell do I know? I'm stupid. I'm a moron.
Hey, stupid.
I don't fucking
You're in the right place now. What if this is the new normal? What if late night TV and television shows that rely on live audiences is gone forever?
Yeah.
And they have to learn to. I bet the sidekick will become a much bigger part of the show. Like Conan O'Brien has. Dang it, what's that guy? He's great. He has a great podcast, actually. You know Conan O'Brien's sidekick?
Oh gosh, yes. I've listened to
Conan's or his
Conan's.
sidekick?
Conan's.
Oh, Conan O'Brien needs a friend?
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, I've listened to that, but I know his sidekick. I know who it is. You know,
he's great. Anyway,
yeah.
I think if the new norm is doing programs with no audience, then the sidekick will go back to being a major part of a show. Because Stephen Colbert is just talking to the camera, and he keeps referring off camera. There's like 20 people in the audience, and they're all staff members, just so there's somebody there.
When you say that, you mean like Johnny Carson and McMahon, you know, that kind of thing?
Yeah, there'll be more of that interaction, so that the host has somebody to interact with.
Yeah, wow.
Now, as you know, the San Diego Zoo is one of the finest zoos in the world, and we've had this young lady on the show very often the past, I guess, 7 or 8 years. She's been appearing with us.
9 years. About 9 years.
Right, yeah. Several plus several will be about 9.
You said 7 or 8.
No, I didn't say 7 or 8. I said several.
Then you said 7 or 8, and I said
Did
it's
I?
9. Yes.
9. Good, thank you.
Yeah. Some of the animals you had as babies are now 10 years old.
That would be about right.
Remember the animals that did something funny on your tie?
Yes.
Those little lions, the little baby lions, were 1 year old.
That's right.
They are now treacherous and ferocious 10-year-old animals.
Okay. Anyway, Joan Embry is here tonight.
And she's now 32.
That's right. Joan is an animal handler and a trainer. And you really think you're fooling everybody, don't you?
No.
And she
I'm
also...
just here to do my best to help you.
I know that. And she does her 3 horse shows a day. Did you know that? At the animal park.
Boy.
What?
What an exciting idea.
Would you like an army cot or something? Maybe just to kind of catch up on a little little nappy poo? Just might snap you right out of it. Okay.
I love Joan. I'm the only one who went down to see Joan. Doc has never seen her. You've never seen her. I went to the wild animal farm.
It's all right. It's okay.
But you're upsetting me. You're upsetting me.
No, I don't upset you.
I went down, Joan, and I
know you
wrote
did. That's all right.
Don't say...
What?
I know her. I went down and...
Oh, I know you did. I know you went down there. And
I held a baby gorilla.
I couldn't go with you that week. You held a baby gorilla. Good, all right. And let's get her out here quickly. Would you welcome Joan M.
It's strange.
How long are you on your own for?
Tuesday afternoon.
Till Tuesday. Wow, that's nice. Maybe I'll come out there and infect you.
Thank you. That's perfect. Okay.
Yes.
So I made a nice clam chowder yesterday because it's Meatless Friday. So.
Oh, right. When was Ash Wednesday? How many weeks ago was that?
2.5 weeks ago.
Hey, are they going to cancel? I believe in New York, the churches have been told to cancel services.
Really?
I believe so.
Heard...
Either there or in Italy. Maybe it was in Italy. The Pope canceled he doesn't want any gatherings in Vatican Square. None of that.
How real are those pictures? I'm getting pictures from Europe, and it shows Vatican Square. It's like nobody there. It's like St. Michael's in St. Michael's Square in Jesus.
Vatican City.
No, it's in anyway, Florence.
Andy Richter.
I'm so stupid.
Andy Richter.
I'm old.
Who's it? Andy Richter.
Andy Richter is Conan O'Brien's sidekick.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, gotcha. In Venice.
Okay.
Right? St. Michael Square. Nobody there. You think all those are real? Like in Mecca it shows? Because doesn't
Why wouldn't they be?
Ramadan starts today for our Muslim brothers. And
Does it?
Yes. And Ramadan. That's like, whew, hello, like big, right? Nobody there. Nobody in Mecca. Zero.
Oh, what country is Mecca in? Iran? Iraq?
I'm a Catholic. I think Saudi Arabia.
Two huge morons.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. No, maybe Iraq. Isn't that where the Euphrates? Oh, God, what a couple of idiots trying to talk about geography and religion.
It's Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Saudi
Okay.
Arabia. Like I said, Saudi Arabia.
So what are your plans for the weekend on your own?
I've been working. I worked all this morning here at my home office, and the market is just going crazy, bro. The stock market, the interest rates, got people pissed off, everybody's yelling.
What direction are interest rates headed?
Well, they should be down, but they're up because of the uncertainty in the market, and they're artificially up. And most lenders, if not all lenders, are artificially keeping rates up. Plus, they have to control the volume of business that's coming in because they only have so much money, lines of credit and warehouse lines, they call them, and the market's so liquid right now, it's murder. And, of course, the media, because it's the media, they're about a week behind on everything. So, literally, rates were at 3% a week ago. Now they're close to 4%. And they shouldn't be at 4%. They should be at 3%. They're artificially high. I read a lot.
Okay, he reads a lot. He can't pronounce any of the words he reads, but he reads a lot.
I can't spell them either.
So you're just hanging out this weekend?
So tonight, I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to come home after our meeting at our place where we meet and give back to the community. I'm going to come home. I'm going to work, answer all my emails, and right at 5 o'clock, I'm making an old-fashioned. And that'll take me to about 5:45 or so. And then I'm going to make another one. I'm going to sit out by my pool.
Uh-huh.
And hopefully it's raining by then because the rain's coming.
Boring.
And then I'm going to have clam chowder that I made for Meatless Friday. Probably a nice glass of Chardonnay.
And then he stopped talking.
And I'm going to pick out a movie. And I cuddled with my dogs last night in bed. It was wonderful.
Maybe I'll come out there with my dog and we'll all just cuddle with our we'll both cuddle with our dogs. We'll become a gay couple.
Yeah, exactly. What would you like
with
to
no
watch?
sex.
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy?
We'll binge watch old Golden Girls episode. I've come to believe that having a podcast is very similar to having the coronavirus. Everybody's got it, and nobody wants to be around you if you've got it.
You think it's just saturated that way? I thought it was kind of the new norm. I mean, the
podcast. It is. Everybody's got a podcast, and nobody wants to be on your podcast. It's like, oh God, Bob's hitting me up to be on a goddamn podcast again. Nobody wants to hear that kind of crap. Hey, I've got I'm doing a podcast. Oh, really? What's it about? Oh, tell me more. Oh, I'd love to be on it. You don't hear any of that shit.
Yeah.
Just like, who doesn't have a podcast? No way. It's like being a ham radio operator.
Well, as usual, we're like 3 steps behind everybody else.
Yeah.
You are, I am, whatever. I mean, except for fashion. I'm very in the forefront of fashion, actually.
Are you really?
Yes, this is true.
Okay.
And music. When Tom Jones was making his comeback, I was like listening to Tom Jones forever, and then all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, I like Tom Jones. I like Tom Jones. Well, really?
Well, then,
Johnny
if you're
Cash
on the
was the same
forefront of music, who's hot right now?
Same thing with Johnny Cash. Same thing. Look how big Johnny Cash is now. Was he that big 20 years ago? No. I saw him. I saw him in concert, right? Oh, got kicked out.
Well, okay. Well, right now, who are the hot artists right now?
Well, we need to discuss that. I need to do a little bit of research on that.
You just said you're on the cutting edge. Why do you need to do research if you're on the cutting edge?
Let's talk fashion.
No, you said you were on the cutting edge of music, so tell me about some people.
Okay.
You're not on the cutting edge of music. Let's put it that way.
Good one.
I am. Yes,
no,
I
not.
am.
No, you're not. You're full of
You're full of because you're just jealous.
Okay. Okay. How about fashion then? Who are the top designers for men's fashion?
No, I'll tell you the one designer who's not a designer. Who's not even a designer. He's never designed a piece of cloth, a piece of clothing in his life.
Who?
That's Ralph Lauren.
Ralph
Never.
Lauren.
Yeah, never. He's not a designer. He's a thinker. And you know what he does? He thinks out of the box. And he doesn't give a rat's ass what he wears or what anybody thinks about him, and he wears it anyway. That's what I do. I don't care. if my yellow
He
hair.
doesn't.
People make fun of him. You know what?
People make fun of Ralph Lauren?
Absolutely.
Who makes fun of Ralph Lauren?
You come over tonight, we'll watch Very Ralph, Netflix. It's a movie about Ralph and his whole, you know what his real last name is? Litshit from the Bronx. Ralph
Litshit?
Litshit. Yes, that's his last name. Jewish boy growing up in the Bronx, and he said he would like wear scarves or wear like ascots, and people would mock him all the time. He goes, I just wore what I thought I liked, you know. And he would like wear cowboy boots with a tuxedo, or he'd wear a tuxedo top with jeans, you know, with blue jeans. And he was just like out there. And I was like, man, that is really cool. He started making ties. That's how he got started, making ties for Bloomingdale. And Bloomingdale.
I thought you said he never made men's fashion.
Well, his mom made them. He designed. He thought of. He goes, I like that color. I like the orange and purple together, stripes on the tie, because all you see are men wearing black ties down in Manhattan. You know, solid black, solid gray. So he started making all these colors. His mom sewed the name, I think, and his grandmother as well, sewed the name on the back of it. Anyway, let's watch Very Ralph.
So, the senator's examples of being on the cutting edge of music and fashion in 2020 is to bring up Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, and Ralph Lauren. Do you see why he is the poster child for the modern moron? God damn it, he just wears me out sometimes, but I still love him. By the way, that documentary on Ralph Lauren is on HBO rather than Netflix if you are looking for it. You know, some positive things that can come from this coronavirus global emergency. I think and hope that because of all the public events that have been canceled of all sizes, we'll be more aware of and grateful for human contact when we're able to do that again. Fellowship, if you will. Or maybe this is the new normal. We don't know. Even though many of us walk around anyway, most of the time with our face buried in a screen or not even making eye contact, I think we're seeing the value of being around our others. We reconnect and reappreciate the shared experience of listening to live music, going to a play, or seeing live comedy or a sporting event together. Shared experiences are a good thing, even virtually shared experiences. This corona craziness is a shared experience as well. People are staying connected on social media and find ways to stay connected. Get a group chat together, or Facebook or Twitter, or even just a group text, and have everyone watch an old movie together. Everyone rents it and hits play at the same time. I don't know about you, but sometimes I need to have something taken away to truly appreciate it. I take way too many things for granted. So, wash your hands, stay 6 to 10 feet away from each other if you can, order your groceries online if you still can, and know that these inconvenient things we're doing aren't just for ourselves, but for each other. Wow, for each other. Thank you, Jerry Springer.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
See you next time.
My name is Barney, and I'm an alcoholic.
Mr. Gumbo, this is a Girl Scout meeting.
Is it? Or is it that you girls can't admit you have a problem?